Hey guys, I'm Garrett and this is Space Park. I'm going to teach you guys how to play. Before we can play, we got to get it set up. Set up super easy and quick. Let's get into it. First, we're going to take the Starlight Station tile here and we're going to unfold it and put it on the right side of the table. Then, we're going to take the other 6 tiles and we're going to randomly distribute them and put them down in this sort of shape. This is the configuration we ended up with. Then we're going to take all of the bits and we're going to put them on the board. I'm going to show you how to do that now. At Cosmic Canyon, you're going to take all the pink crystals and one of the 3 rocket ships and put those there. We're going to leave Outpost 13 empty. We're going to put the purple crystals and one of our 3 rocket ships at Lunar Woods. Over here at Starlight Station, we're going to take the badge deck. We're going to lay it at the top end of the tile here, and then we're going to flip the top 3 cards of the badge deck here, and we're going to lay them face up for everyone to see. Over here at Fusion Falls, we're going to take the 1 XP tokens, and we're going to put them here. We're going to take the green crystals, and we're going to put them at Celestial Seas, as well as the 3rd and final rocket ship. And then finally at Astral Arcade, we're going to take Robob the Robot, the controller for him, and the fast travel tokens, and we're going to place those here. After we've done that, we're going to deal each player 2 pink crystals to their supply to start the game with and determine the first player. Look at that, it's me. Okay, we're ready to play. So before we start playing, it's important to know how you actually win this game. The winner is the player with the most points at the end. And the end of the game is initiated by the first person to get to 20 points. So after somebody gets to 20 points, you finish the current turn cycle, and at that point, whoever has the most points wins. Playing is actually really easy. The 3 rocket ships on the board determine the 3 actions that are available to a player at any given time. And you'll choose one of the 3 of them and move it to the next place clockwise on the rotation and do the action at the place that it started at. So if I want to move this rocket ship from Cosmic Canyon here, I will grab 2 pink crystals to do the action at that space and then move the rocket ship to the next available space clockwise. So if we apply that same logic to the other 2 places where you can get crystals, at Lunar Woods we'd grab 1 purple crystal here, move the rocket ship clockwise 1. At Celestial Seas, we would grab a green crystal, add it to our supply and move the rocket ship clockwise 1. Now let's look at Starlight Station here really quick. So if the rocket ship's at Starlight Station and we want to take this action, we're granted with 2 options. First is to choose one of the 3 face-up badges here and add them to our hand, which makes it so that only we can play it later on. And we would choose based on a number of factors. Badges have a couple of different pieces of information on them. They have a cost up here, which is how many crystals they take. So this one is really cheap. It only costs 1 purple crystal to play. It has how many points it's worth. This is the XP value right here, so this one's worth 2. It has an effect occasionally. This one makes it so it's worth an additional 1 for each other triangle badge you've earned. And this is determined by this symbol down here in the corner. So this triangle here determines that it is a triangle badge, and so you can play it. And so it affects other ones. So like this one here would count with that ability. Those are the pieces of information shown on a badge. The other option we have at this place is if we don't like one of these 3, we can just rip the top card of the deck and add it to our hand, which is what we're going to do because we're outlaws. So, again, do the action, move the rocket ship. So, grab a card and move the rocket ship to the next place. Here at Fusion Falls, if you have a pink crystal, you can exchange it back to the supply here in exchange for 1 XP, and that's just a point. It's worth a point at the end of the game, right? Over here at the Astral Arcade, this is one of the more interesting spaces. You're granted the controller for the robot, either from Astral Arcade or from the player who is currently controlling it, and you're allowed to place the robot on a new spot. You can place it on any tile on the board, and whenever a player takes the action where the robot is present, you're allowed to grab a fast travel token, which you're also allowed to grab just by moving the rocket ship from here. So it's a hell of a deal. The fast travel tokens are really powerful. They allow you to move the rocket ship before taking your action, so you can manipulate where the rocket starts before your turn actually begins. It's a really strong ability. You don't want to let one person monopolize these. And then finally, Outpost 13. This is another really important spot. This is where you'll actually get to score the points that you added to your hand. So the badge cards in your hand, you're allowed to exchange resources to play them putting them face up in front of you and allowing their points to actually count. So this card here is going to cost me 1 green and 1 pink crystal, which I would add back to the supply. And now I have this card that's worth 3 points. I have a total of 4 points right now with my 1 XP token and my badge. As I said before, play continues. Each player takes 1 action, and play continues until somebody hits 20 points. Every other player in the turn cycle will continue to play until the end of the turn cycle, and then whoever has the most points wins. That's the game. That's Space Park. It's one of my favorites. It's easy, it's fast, it's fun, but it's a little bit of a brain burner. Yeah.